Okay, so there's been a lot written lately about the Ford F-200. This idea that Ford patented that name, and what are they going to use it for? So, uh, I've been after Ford to do this for a long time, and I have a very specific reason why I think should have happened. Some people think it's for electrics, and some people think it's not. There's certainly a valid reason to increase the axle capacities or the payload of an electric vehicle because batteries are heavy. So, the other thing we have to understand is what we probably understand that it isn't is it's not a downrated F-250. So I don't imagine that that's where the Ford's going with it. So let's go over the classes of pickup trucks. So class one or quarter ton trucks is what we used to have, and they're basically vehicles up to 6,000 pounds. Now today we have mid-size trucks, which are quarter ton trucks, but their weight class goes above 6,000. In a lot of cases it's 6,400 or 6,600 pounds. Now, half tons are class 2A pickups, which range from 6,001 to 8,500 pounds. And this is where mid-sizers come into the half ton range. And this is the other part of why the shorty trucks have been changed so much, because a lot of them are derated, even though some of them have 9,100 pounds of axle capacity. Their gross vehicle weight rating is down to 6,000 pounds. Now, these trucks don't really just have a gross vehicle weight rating of 6,000 pounds, which would technically be a quarter ton truck. They're derated by using smaller 4-ply tires to reduce the axle capacities. And the marketing reason behind that was these vehicles were making people upset when they were going in and spending $70,000 on a fancy four-door pickup truck that had 1,600 pounds capacity, and their kids' shorty truck had 3,000 pounds capacity. Dad was getting PO'd at the dealer. So the dealers decided to get together with the companies and make sure that these smaller trucks competed directly with quarter ton trucks, especially in the years where Ford didn't sell a Ranger. They made their shorty trucks the competition for a quarter ton truck. Now, as you can see here, when you compare the shorty to a Jeep, where they are still in that 6,000 pound range, the Ford at 9,300 pounds. Actually, if you take the rear axle weight and double it, you're at 10,600 pounds, which puts you directly right in the light end of a 1-ton truck. Now, the next stop is the Class 2B, which are 3/4 ton trucks, and they run from 8,501 pounds to 10,000 pounds. Now, the benefit to the Class 2B or 3/4 ton range isn't just the heavier payload. See, in this case, the old 3/4 ton, you go from a 4,500 pound vehicle up to about, say, a 7,000 pound vehicle. So you don't get much more payload in that 3/4 ton range. But the real big benefit is that range of vehicle does not have to state its fuel economy or any of that stuff. So it doesn't fall into the same fuel emissions standards as the rest of the half ton and quarter ton pickups. The 1 ton is a class 3, which ranges from 10,001 to 14,000 pounds. Now, the 1 ton can be had as a single rear wheel vehicle or a dual rear wheel vehicle, 2 and 4 wheel drive. Again, you don't have to do the emissions or I shouldn't say the emissions, but the fuel economy and stuff on a 1 ton. But that's kind of your Super Duty stuff. Now, above that, you have the F-450, which is class 4, and that's still a Super Duty cab. And so, you've got the F-450. Above that, you have the F-550, which is class 5. That's 16,000 to 19,500 pounds. Again, still a Super Duty, cab. But they're all cab chassis builds in their commercial trucks. Now, this is where the next break is, right? So when you change from that to this, you got an F-650, which is class 6, which is 19,500 to 26,000 pounds, but that's a whole new chassis, a whole new cab system. It is a commercial truck with a fiberglass hood. It's the old, like it's a real commercial vehicle. There's an F-750, which is class 7, which is above that as well. Now, in between, what you end up with is this truck, which is an F-600, which has capabilities in the F-650 range, but it uses the cab and chassis of the 550. And so this is where these crossovers of 100 vehicles come in. Like, so we're talking an F-600 kind of braces between the 550 and the 650. An F-200 would cover that middle ground between an F-150 and an F-250, and I can see them bringing on F-100 now that the Ranger is going to be kind of breaking into the half-ton weight classes as well. So you'll have these middleweight trucks will be, right into the half-ton side. So that might be another name that'll come along shortly. I suppose Maverick could be the F-50, but with Ram coming out with the Dakota 750 or Ram 750, I don't think so. So my thoughts with Ford on this for 5 years. I mean, I was working for Ford 5 years ago. I built this truck knowing full well I wanted it to be 20-foot shipping container capable, with a full-on camper, as a high-capacity vehicle that was going to have, that has all the axle weights and stuff that I needed. I was hoping to be able to someday be able to build something like what I have today. So with all this stuff in this vehicle, when you start building these for overlanders, and now I've got Steely's on it. There's the camper system that's on it. You got a fridge inside that's full of food. You have a toilet that's full of water. You get a winch on the front. You get all your gear. You have all your tools, and then you're sticking your traction boards on the side of it. You got a bag in the back. Garbage bag. You get Steely wheels and all your gear jammed in there. And you still end up with a tare weight of 2840 kilograms, which is 6,250 pounds. Now, that's, kind of mid-class or quarter-ton light, but three-quarter-ton capable. And so this is the thing with these trucks. Like, you can tow big trailers with them. It's rated for 9,700 pounds towing, but on the other side of that, it already comes with the 3/4 floating rear axle, which means if you break an axle, the wheel doesn't fall off like what would happen in most other half tons and basically all quarter tons, prior to this year. So, this has the capability to haul like this travel light camper, which is 2,500 pounds, but also haul a car behind it. Now, these were sold with a sticker in the door that basically lied about the axle weights to deal with a marketing issue. But if Ford actually upgraded the wheels, they could be upgraded right to 9,100 pounds, which is kind of a ridiculous number, but exactly double what the dry weight of the vehicle is. So, yeah, you could easily have this be set to tow 14,000 pounds. If they sold this as an F-200 Tremor shorty with a limited, the LSD front axle and the locker in the rear, and a winch on the front, and 35-inch tires, and 14,000 pounds towing, and 4,000 pounds of payload, I think that Ford would have a winner on its hands in the overland market, in the outfitter market, in the camper upfitter market, and in the commercial market, selling these for coffee trucks. So to wrap this up, Ford's got a whole bunch of benefits in doing this 200, one of which would be corporate average fuel economy, because you're getting rid of a bunch of the highest fuel consuming parts of the F-150 lineup and moving them into that Super Duty realm where they don't have to report their fuel averages. Then the next part of that is Ford will actually end up, if they do this shorty truck, with a short wheelbase vehicle that'll have the highest payload of any vehicle ever in that wheelbase range. And so that gives them a vehicle that they can charge an overland tax for, or that they can charge a commercial tax for for people that want to haul stuff, large amounts of weight, whether that's to make money or to have fun. So anyway, hope this was helpful, and hope you guys enjoy. Sorry I've been gone for so long.